So Gerrit Cole and a few other big names in Major League Baseball are not happy with the owners and the CBA, which expires on December 1st, 2021. Ooh, that's going to get a little bit tricky because the players and the owners the last, I would say, year, they have not been on good terms. So we're going to go ahead and break down that situation in just a second. But if this is your first time on the channel, I would appreciate a subscribe as we do this every single day. So if you don't have ESPN or MLB Network, or if you just need a recap in 10 minutes, this is the place to be. We have Gerrit Cole and other players going off on Major League Baseball. We have Jose Abreu testing positive. The top prospect for the Twins is going to be out for all of 2021 after he tore his ACL. And then Tyler Glasnow, in my opinion, he's a little bit overhyped. But breaking news, it's being reported that he is finally developing a slider and a cutter. If that actually happens, watch the heck out. Glasnow, he's going to be something special. So before we talk about Gerrit Cole, I thought we might as well bring up his teammate Aaron Judge, because one big story around Aaron Judge, I don't know why, was his teeth. His teeth have finally been fixed, quote unquote. I don't believe that you have to have a perfect smile to have really good teeth. So if you don't have braces or anything, it's okay. We've seen Michael Strahan blow up even though he had a gap in between his teeth, and same with Aaron Judge. In fact, a lot of Yankees fans are saying that they don't know who this guy is, that this is not Aaron Judge, and that whoever he is, he's not going to have a good season because he's not gap teeth Aaron Judge. I don't understand that, but hey, to me, he looks great. So this was Aaron Judge and his old face, and now with Invisalign or braces, I'm not sure what happened. This is Aaron Judge, and to me, he looks super confident and happy, which is not a good sign for the rest of baseball, because if he is performing at his ceiling and he's healthy, oh my God. Now, while I was doing my research trying to find old photos and new photos, I found this picture of Aaron Judge back in college. Like, imagine getting a full ride scholarship, you're a pitcher in college, you're living your best life, and then all of a sudden this human comes up to hit. Like, I'd just drop out. I wouldn't play anymore. Moving back over to Gerrit Cole. Actually, before we do that, let's talk about why Gerrit Cole is upset. He is frustrated and he's over with the service time manipulation that goes on in the game of baseball, specifically with the Seattle Mariners situation, because Jarred Kelenic, a future superstar for the Mariners, he was brought up a few days ago when the former president of the Mariners, Kevin Mather, said that you would see my big tummy, quoting Kevin, that he would be out there playing live in the flesh as a 50 to 60-year-old before they would call up their top prospect. So he essentially confirmed that they practice service time manipulation, and Kelenic, actually that's how you say his name, he did not hold back. So I'm going to go ahead and read off the quote in just a second, because whoa, he dropped a nuke on the Mariners. So bear with me, guys. We have a lot to read because Gerrit did not hold back any punches. He said, money shouldn't determine when a player is called up to the big leagues. This should be an exciting time for baseball. We had such a negative year with COVID and everything shutting down. This is what we've been waiting for. Now, the day before spring training, this is what I have to deal with. And then he goes on to say that it's crystal clear that the reason why he's being held down is because he did not sign a contract extension, which kind of makes sense now that I think about it, because they gave an extension to first baseman Evan White, and he was horrible. I think he led the league in strikeouts. He was not good, but they kept him up in the big leagues even though he was underperforming at a significant level, and that's because they rewarded him due to the fact that they signed a contract extension together. So, I mean, that makes a whole lot of sense. He then goes on to say, I was extremely disappointed. I worked extremely hard all offseason, and last year, here you have a team that is one game out of the playoffs going into the last weeks of the season. I know for a fact I could have helped that team out. Not just me, but there are other guys who could have helped the team out. Not to be given that opportunity was so beyond frustrating. I feel that guys should be rewarded for their play and have the best guys on the field, especially when you talk about a team that hasn't gone to the playoffs in 20 years and your best prospects are just sitting there watching. I know that he's a top prospect and that he's barely had 800 at-bats in the minors, but he has a very fair point. If you are not putting the best product on the field and you're manipulating service time in order to do that, you are showing that you do not care about winning. You care about making the most amount of money and saving the most amount of money. And even Gerrit Cole, one of the most respected and well-known players in the game today, he said that he's sick and tired of MLB teams manipulating the service time. It's just tired. It's tired, man. I think players are over it. And if they haven't been awakened to that type of behavior, that's what goes on. He then later says those conversations are being had, and unfortunately, that's the kind of way a lot of clubs are acting. That's just not productive for anyone. It's not productive for the product. You're not putting the best players on the field for people to see, and that is exactly what Gerrit Kelenic decided to say. So to me, they both have points. However, a lot of people are saying, Kelenic, shut your mouth. You don't even have 800 plate appearances in minor league baseball. You are not deserving of a spot on a major league roster just yet. But what I might remind you guys is that when the president was saying they hold down players, it's not just Gerrit Kelenic. He's talking about Julio Rodriguez. He's talking about Logan Gilbert, who has been a stud so far as a starting pitcher. You're telling me that if the Mariners called up Kelenic, Julio Rodriguez, and Logan Gilbert all at the same time, that they wouldn't be better? That's like saying the Tigers should hold down Casey Mize and Screwball for the rest of forever, as well as Spencer Torkelson. I mean, yeah, they might need some time in the minors, but this is just frustrating. Before we talk about Mike Trout and the idea that he is done with losing, he did not hold back any punches just like Kelenic. He is ready to make the playoffs. We're going to talk about two players and their health concerns. Jose Abreu, for the second time in the last few months, has tested positive for the you-know-what corona. He said that he had it back in January, which is confirmed by the antibodies in his new test. So I'm not sure how this works. Maybe it's a new strand. You guys will have to enlighten me in the comment section down below. I didn't realize that you could get it twice. And then the Twins' #1 prospect, Royce Lewis, is going to be out for all of 2021 as he tore his ACL. I've met him in person. Super nice guy. Every time a fan came up to him when we were at the All-Star game and asked for an autograph, even though we were walking down the street on the sidewalk, he said, sure, let's get a picture too. Nice guy. I really feel bad for him because he's going to be legit. Now, moving over to Mike Trout, he is sick and tired of losing. He was quoted either today or yesterday by saying, I'm trying to get to the playoffs. We all are. I think that if that's not the mindset, you shouldn't be here every year. That's why I come in with that mind. We have one goal, get to the playoff. Obviously, there's a lot of new faces this year, kind of clean house a little bit and looking for a fresh start. I'm getting older for sure, but I'm still young. I still feel great. And then he goes on later, it's definitely weighed on me. I hear it every year. The only way to change that is to get to the playoffs, Trout said. I'm tired of hearing, hey Mike, is adding this guy or that guy gonna get you to the playoffs? I gotta work on myself and try to do what's best for the team. So he is pretty much saying that he hears the criticism that he can't get to the playoffs, and that all offseason people were saying if the Angels can just get Trevor Bauer or if they can trade for a #2 starting pitcher, they would be a playoff team. And Mike is saying, hey, I'm still young, I'm still the guy, I need to get better myself, which is crazy because if we see a better version of Mike Trout than what we've seen in the past, that might be the greatest player of all time, hands down. So all of you naysayers out there that believe Mike Trout is the guy that is holding the Angels back, I mean, just take a look at what he said. He's very understanding of the criticism. He believes that it's time to get to the playoffs. It's time to stop making excuses. And this gets me excited for 2021 baseball. So to end today's video, like I mentioned in the intro, Tyler Glasnow is officially developing a slider/cutter. It's probably going to be the same pitch, but if he can have better location on that curveball and be able to throw in a breaking pitch that cuts inside to lefties and away from righties, and then you have that high and tight fastball to either lefties or righties, the guy can be special. He's a little overhyped because, I mean, it's not his fault that Major League Baseball tweets out his photos every other minute because he's tall and has long hair and throws really hard. I don't blame the guy. He seems really nice, but so far through his first few seasons, and especially in the playoffs, he's been a little underwhelming in my opinion. But that does it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe out there, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.